Hey, once again, everybody. Scott X1307. Back again with another video. This is my SC Comicon Haul video. Fantastic weekend. Saturday and Sunday was the con. Me and my girlfriend actually we had Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday off. So Thursday evening, after we both got off work, we had packed everything Wednesday night to get it ready. Thursday we get home from work. We a couple hours packing everything into the truck, and we took off Thursday evening. We made it to, there's a campsite I like to go to. I like to camp and fish and hike and stuff and take outdoor photos and things. Here's a campsite that I discovered a few years ago. It's in a national forest just above Helen, Georgia. And we stopped there Thursday night. We actually got there at about 9 o'clock, so it was a little late that night. But we just moved some things around and folded down the back seats in my Explorer and just slept in the back of the truck for the night. And then the next morning went and was going to do a little bit of fishing, but I don't like to pick up bait and travel with it all the way up there, and the place you usually get bait from up there wasn't open for some reason, and it was kind of rainy off and on. It wasn't really good fishing weather at the moment, so Friday we just headed on up into South Carolina and met up with Ferengi102, Chris, and first I want to say thanks to Chris and his family. They are super nice people. Chris is such a great guy. He turned me on to this convention. He works at Borderland Comics there in Greenville, which hosted this convention, and I have to say, he's such a great guy. Introduced me to several people at the con. Invited me and my girlfriend into his house, and it was really very cool. I was really glad to finally meet someone from this community in person, and especially Chris, since we both have won each other's contests and things like that. It's been very cool. I had a great time. It was a fantastic experience. First year con, and I think they did a great job. It was really well organized. A lot of people there, surprisingly. I think he said they were estimating upwards of 5,000 the first day, which I think is spectacular for a first year convention. A lot of great indie and local artists. There were a lot of guys there. Might recognize Bud Root from Cave Woman. He was there. Robert Vendetti, Van Jensen, writers on Green Lantern and Green Lantern Corps, they were there. Lou Ferrigno was there Saturday. Oh, I waited in the line. Got there early, Saturday morning. The line wasn't too long, but I know it's Lou Ferrigno, it's the Hulk, but $40 for him to take a picture with you using your camera. To me, that's ridiculous. I don't care how famous you are. You're gonna use my camera to take a picture, and it cost me $40. I couldn't do it. It's the same price to have them take a picture with their Polaroid. It was $40 for that. It should be a discount if you're using your own camera. And I'm not a big fan of charging for signatures and things like that to begin with anyway. I understand why a lot of them do it. They had to pay for the trip and cover expenses. It's just prices are outrageous. He had pre-printed photos that you could purchase and get an autograph. Those were also $40. So I saw Lou Ferrigno. I didn't really get to meet him. Didn't get a photo with him or a signature or anything like that. My funds were limited thanks to some car repairs I had to get done before heading up there. $250 job ended up being a $930 job. So that limited my fundage, but still had a great time. I got to see the Hulk at least. I got to see the 60s Batmobile, a mock-up of the Ectomobile from Ghost Riders. They made out of a Dodge, whatever the Dodge station wagon is, and it's really like a true station wagon, but it looks sharp. Got to meet a lot of good local artists, like I said. But thanks again, Chris. You guys, if you haven't checked out Ferengi102's channel, I'm sure everybody has, but if you hadn't, I'll leave a link below. So I'm going to go over the haul I got from the Comicon. Like I said, it was a great con. I had a lot of time. I had a blast for 2 days. It's the most fun I've had in a couple of years at least. Girlfriend had a good time. She's just starting to get into a few comics, but she really loves, she's an artist herself, so she really loved being able to you know, stand there for a few minutes and talk to the different artists and things, which is one of the main things I like about the smaller cons. It's not as crowded, so you have so much more time to chat with the artists and writers that are there. And you'd be surprised, especially with the local guys and the independent guys, you know, how much they're willing to talk to you. I know there were several times she was still sitting there talking and I was walking around other places. They really chatting up art stuff, so it's really cool. Fortunately, I did not come out with the biggest haul. The one downside to the convention, and it's nothing, it's not a bad point to the convention itself, it's nothing that the people putting it on could have controlled. It was the book vendors themselves. The prices were just outrageous. I saw Omega Men #3, first appearance of Lobo, ungraded. They're wanting 50 bucks for it. I think I have 5 copies that I've paid no more than $1 for. Most of them I picked up for $0.25. I just picked up one a few weeks ago. Perfect near mint shape. I mean, there's almost nothing wrong with the book. Pages are still completely white. The cover, the corners are still sharp. No spine roll. There's almost no damage to the book. I paid $0.25 for it. $50 they were asking. X Factor 5. The cameo appearance of Apocalypse, 50 bucks. I picked that up for I think $1.50 a month or so ago. X Factor 6, they're wanting $75 to $100 for it. I understand it's first appearance Apocalypse, it's worth a little bit of money, but it's not. I don't think it's worth anywhere near $100 bucks. That's just ridiculous. Somebody there had a Preacher #1 for like 650 bucks, ungraded. Just, it was crazy. And I'm used to, you know, even on 2-day conventions, the last day of the con, most places, you know, the vendors start slashing their prices to get rid of some books. They don't have to carry so much back with them, but I didn't really see that happening. I did pick up a few things. These are the books I picked up, minus I think there's 2 in here I took with me to get signed. And these first 3 Chris actually gave me Friday night when we went over to his house, which is really, really freaking cool of him. So I'll go ahead and get into the books here. First, Chris gave me this Aliens Colonial Marines #1. Which I've been looking for a while. A couple other issues from this series I found at the flea market. Could never find this one. So this is freaking cool. Gotta love this cover with the alien biting the grenade. It's about to explode. So that was really, really awesome. And then he also gave me the, I had mentioned, for some reason in my flea market you can't find, and even in the local comic book stores here, I can't find any issues of that New Guardian series from the late 80s. But he had doubles of a couple of issues. So he gave me New Guardians #1 and #2, which of course is the first appearance of the villain Snowflame. He gets his powers from snorting cocaine. And I had to flip through this. I didn't really read the story. I flipped through it really quick. I found the page, the infamous page, and it just, I mean, it blows my mind that was able to get into a comic in 1988. So that was very, very cool. Thanks, Chris. I am looking forward to reading these 2 issues. I've heard this series is actually really good, and it was really short, so I'm hoping to enjoy it and maybe pick up the rest of the series as well. So those are the 3 books from Ferengi102, Chris. Again, thanks so much, dude. I really appreciate that. Now, on to the books actually from the con. There was a small Valiant booth there, no writers or artists, but they had a representative. They had some free books, free #1 issues. So, hey, it's free. I picked them up. I figured, what the hell. This one is actually, I really, really dig this cover. You can't make it out on the camera. Barely. In here, you can barely see there's a faint figure there. It's very reminiscent of the old Solar #10 black cover that they did back in the 90s. This is actually Shadow Man #1. And also got Quantum and Woody #1. I think these are like, these may be like, you know, special con editions that they did, but hey, they're free, so it doesn't really matter. I think that's pretty cool. A character I did like in the original Valiant run from the 90s, Bloodshot. They had #1 of that. That's a really, I think that's a really cool cover. And then Archer and Armstrong #1. So those 4 books were free from the Valiant booth, which is really cool. Alright. There were actually only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 books. I picked up 8 books from the con. First I picked up Action Comics 894 with the appearance of Death. Really loved the Neil Gaiman take on Death from Sandman in the 90s. I loved the Death miniseries Vertigo put out then. This version is really cool. So I had to pick this up. It was only $5. I know this book is picking up heat, and that was about the best deal I found. So I grabbed that. Love the cover, and the only thing I'm missing really now is their first appearance in Sandman. Found one vendor. They had graphic novels and trades 50% off, and I had a good number of hard covers. So I picked up this copy of Marvel Zombies 3. This great Arthur Sodom cover. Just, his art is so freaking amazing, just fantastic. That's a zombie machine man. And this is a $19.99, $20 cover, still wrapped in the shrink wrap plastic. And so I paid $10 for it. I thought that was pretty good. Hardcover. Went through the rest of their stuff. The only other things that I would have been interested in are ones that I already have, unfortunately. So again, that was one of the better deals I found from vendors there. Everything else I picked up was basically for signatures. I'll show. I did grab a couple of issues for Green Lantern and Green Lantern Corps for Robert Venditti and Van Jensen to sign. And I believe I picked up the first 2 issues that started their respective runs. It's Green Lantern 21 and 22. I picked them up for vendor, $3 cover price, so wasn't too bad. And I got them Venditti's signature on both of these. That was really cool. He's really nice. Talked to him about his the graphic novel Surrogates and what he thought about the movie, which was pretty cool. And right next to him was Van Jensen, and I picked up Green Lantern Corps 21 and 22, and he was nice enough to sign those. There, and there, and I really dig this cover, John Stewart there. But he was a really nice guy, and spoke to him for a couple of minutes. I admittedly, I don't read Green Lantern. You guys know I'm not really big on the superhero books right now, so I really didn't have a whole lot to talk to them about. But some of their other projects they were working on, you know, I talked to them about. Van Jensen also does a Pinocchio Vampire Slayer, which actually looks pretty cool. And he's got a new book that I believe he said is finished. They've got it on Kickstarter, trying to raise money to get it published now. And it's called The Leg. It's a graphic novel. It's written by Van Jensen with artist by Jose Pimienta. I hope I said that right. And he had a like a master copy there, laminated pages to flip through and look at it. The art is actually really cool, I thought. A little different. It's definitely an indie art style. But the story, here you can see it's The Leg. It's actually about the disembodied leg of Santa Anna. That's all I know about it. He didn't give a whole lot of details about the book. Of course, he's trying to raise money to get it, so this big thing is if you're interested, you know, go to Kickstarter, donate, and you get a free free copy. You get a for an $8 donation, you get a free digital copy, and $25 donation, you get the actual printed copy, which isn't too bad. But yeah, definitely it looked very cool, and it's the disembodied leg of Santa Anna. How different of a story can you get? So there's the information there. If you want to pause it and maybe check that out, that would be very cool. And they were both really nice, really very nice. I wish I'd had more to talk to them about. But unfortunately, like I said, I'm not reading Green Lantern books right now, so the conversation was limited to their other projects. And then they had Mr. Bud Root there. I'm sure everybody knows him, the creator of Basement Comics and the comic Cave Woman. It's actually been around for 20 years now, which is really cool. And he's a fantastic artist, more underground indie stuff. But I'm sure everybody knows him. His comic Cave Woman is pretty infamous for its subject matter and interior art. Basically, she's nude through every book almost. But he said his art is great. He had prints and some comics, convention special books and things out. And his comics were $5 with a signature, so I picked up this special 20-year anniversary convention book that he had, and he was nice enough to sign that. I love his work, his dinosaur work. They're really cool, very realistic looking to me. And he was a nice guy. Talked to him for a few minutes. That was really cool. Next I met artist Jeremy Dale, who is working on this indie book Skyward from Action Lab. It's actually, what I've read so far, it's pretty cool. It's like Vikings and or Viking, you know, era, and it's pretty neat so far. The only issue I have right now is the Free Comic Book Day issue from this year, but he was cool enough to sign that. And he was busy sketching all weekend, so I didn't talk to him very long. Like I said, I don't like bothering them when they're in the middle of sketching. But he was really nice. And picked up a couple of prints from him, and I'll show off in a minute. Okay. Now the last book I actually picked up from the con, I think that makes 8 books that I actually bought at the con, was an Iron Fist, The Living Weapon, #1. It's the current series Marvel Now. It's the blank sketch variant cover, there was a local artist there. His name is Matthew D. Smith. He was doing cover sketches for $10 in color, and that included the comic. He had a rack of different blank variants you could choose from, and it was $10 including the book. And I was like, man, that's a killer deal. Most people were wanting, you know, $30 to $60 just to do it on a book you already have. So I got this issue here because we were talking about the different books he had. I couldn't really make up my mind, and he seemed to like this book, so I figured, hey, if he likes the character, then he must enjoy drawing it, and that's what I like to see. And it was very cool. So he did this head sketch here of Iron Fist and signed it, and that was very, very awesome. This is actually only my second sketch cover ever. And he was a real nice guy. He's local. I believe he's from actually here from in Georgia, a little south of me. So I'm going to look him up on Facebook and keep track of what he's doing. That was very cool of him, though. It took him like 15 minutes. And I think it's pretty good, you know. And the first sketch cover that I got is from artist James Lyle. He does a lot of work with Zenescope Comics now, and he was doing sketch covers. It was like $20 for black and white, or 30 or 35 for full color. And again, I had the sketch covers that I won from Chris's contest, so I took those with me, and I was going through them, and I'm not real picky. I pulled out the sketch covers, showed him what I had, and I'm like, I'd rather let you pick whichever you would prefer, the character that you like to do or something like that. And he picked this Batman Little Gotham, and because it's Batman, I was like, you know, black and white is awesome with Batman, and he did this very cool Batman sketch. And his work was really, really nice, and he was a really great guy. He talked to me and my girl for, at least 30 minutes. The whole time he was doing the sketch, she was talking to him about art stuff. He was nice, really, really nice, and gave my girl a large poly bag, a print size poly bag, for a print that she bought from another artist and didn't have a bag for. He just gave her a bag to help protect the art while he was doing this sketch. And I picked up a couple of prints from him as well, because like I said, I was really, really impressed with his pencil work. And this is really cool. First ever sketch cover, second ever sketch cover. Those two right there make it a very, very good con experience for me. And like I said, that's all the books. I didn't buy a whole lot of books. I looked. I just it's hard for me to pay prices they were asking when I can find the same books usually at local flea markets and used book stores for 25 cents to $1 or $2 at most. Just made it really, really hard. Also, let's see, here's my 2-day wristband that I took off. Souvenir. Picked up business cards and things from some of the artists. There was a vendor there, Captain's Comics. They were giving away these temporary tattoos, which is really cool. And I'm trying to show these with the artist prints. Alright. Oh yeah, there was also this really cool Captain America 2 movie poster that Chris had got when he saw it, and they were giving them away. He said he grabbed the last 2 they had. And actually, I like this poster. It reminds me of a comic book cover more than a movie poster, which is really cool for a comic book movie. So eventually, I will find a place to put that up. Now, on to, most of my money was spent for better or worse, on artwork. There, like I said, there were some really great local and indie artists there, and they had some great deals on prints, some great deals on original art that before the car repair, extra car repairs I had to do, I definitely would have picked up a little bit of original art, some very affordable pieces that were just out of my price range, mainly because I had already bought some stuff. But I love the prints and things. Like I said, here's the print I got from Mr. Tom Lyle, who did the Batman cover sketch for me. This is a Zenoscope character. It's Leslie Von Helsing. And here is his business card and information. He also does like photo touch-up work, which is really cool. He actually had this picture as a print. Napoleon Dynamite's Greatest American Hero. But there's his information if anyone is interested. He's a really nice guy, and he does some really fantastic pencil work, I think. And he's local from North Carolina. I consider that local. Anywhere in the Southeast is local to me. And I'm becoming to find out there's a really good artist community here in the Southeast for comic books and stuff, which I wasn't aware of. I kind of feel ashamed I wasn't aware of that. Okay, here next, some great prints from Jeremy Dell from the Skyward book. He did a lot of work on the G.I. Joe series, I think, with IDW, and he had this kick-ass Snake Eyes print. I picked that up, and he signed that at the bottom and did the little Snake Eyes symbol. It's the clan symbol there. Like I said, I thought that was pretty kick-ass Snake Eyes. And he had this great print of Gambit and Rogue as well. So if I can get it all in frame. And signed it down there at the bottom. I think it's a really cool Gambit and Rogue. It's a couple that they definitely need to put back together. And here's the print. I was going to go back to this artist, but my girlfriend beat me to it. She really liked his work, and I did as well, especially the subject matter. He's, I believe, the current artist on the Doctor Who series. His name is Kelly Yates. Some really fantastic artwork, and she picked up a print from him. She picked up two. Most of them, you know, they got deals. It's like $20 per print. You can get two for $30 or something like that. And I think that's what his was. But she picked up my favorite Doctor, Tom Baker. Really nice. It's even got my favorite companion, K9. He had included the Jelly Babies. So, and the Sonic Screwdriver. Great detail. I really love this print. Very awesome. And like I said, when we were walking through and looking at all the prints, that's pretty much what I did Saturday. I just walked around, got a handle on everything. You know, stopped at the different vendors, looked through their books, trying to determine you know, the best pricing and seeing what was available and stuff like that. Sunday was really the day for buying. It was from 10 to 6 Saturday, 12 to 6 Sunday, and I was there pretty much all day Sunday. When we left, it was like 2 or 3 till 6. Everybody was packing up and getting ready to leave. Like I said, I was hoping to find some good deals. You know, last day, prices usually get cut, deals are made, but people just, even the couple of vendors I tried to bargain with, they didn't want to budge on prices. And it's like, I mean, if you can't come down a little bit, I can't help you out. I'm sorry. Like I even told the vendors, look, I'm the guy that goes to the flea markets and finds these books for $1 or less. I don't mind paying a little extra for a book, especially in better condition, but I'm not going to pay prices that exceed what you can pay on eBay. When you can get something cheaper on eBay than you can when it's sitting right in front of you, there's a problem. But like I said, the artists and all are nice. This is another print by Tom Lyle. He had free prints. They're just on Xerox paper, but hey, that's still cool for free. I thought this was a great Wonder Woman pose. And there was a gentleman there. I would love to pronounce his name, but I will get it wrong. I believe it's Futong Fimarath. I'm not sure. But there's his information. And he was just a local guy. He does commercial art and prints and things like that. He had these really neat business cards. You see it's kind of shiny on the front. It reminds me of an old comic trading card. But, he had some really neat prints, really good stuff. They were $5 a piece for these smaller prints, and he's basically doing buy one get one free. But I picked up 3 of them from him for $10. It's still a good deal, I think. He had this really cool black and white Batgirl. And any of the Bat characters in black and white, if they're shaded right, I think it looks natural. And that was just, to me, that was awesome. I really like that. And these other two, they're very, very similar. You'll see the differences, but they make a good set. And he signed. The only prints I didn't get signed were Tom Lyle's, and I don't know why I didn't get his print signed. I was just caught up talking to him and blown away by the sketch cover he did of Batman, and I forgot. But these 2 prints here I thought were really cool. I think Chris picked these up also. You gotta see them. It's like zombie poo. I don't know if you can see his hand torn off and he's all bloody. Well, kinda. There you go. See, he's been eat on. His hand is broken off. There's blood all around his mouth. He's got fangs now, you know. The honey pot's busted open and there's blood in it. That was just, I thought that was cool. It's such a unique idea. Ooh. And I am running long-winded. My battery is flashing, so let me hook up the cord. Just bear with me if you don't mind. And even if you do mind, I appreciate it. And there we go. That will hopefully save me a little bit of editing. Now I've got a cord in the way. Alright, back to it. So, next there was an artist there. His name was Jason Horn. I do not have a business card for him, unfortunately. Nope. Oh, and the color sketch cover that I got of Iron Fist. This was the guy's business card and his information. And a book that he's worked on, indie book called Simon Says. It's about growing up in the 90s. And I'm going to check this out because I grew up in the 90s a good bit. We graduated about the same year, so I'm interested to see his take on those times. Yep, no. I do not have a business card for this guy, but his art was really cool. He, a lot of it was taking familiar characters and mixing them in different settings or with different creations, you'll see what I mean. I thought this was really cool. My girl pointed these out to me. I'm a big Adventure Time fan. I'm a kid at heart, so the show really is really cool to me. And this guy had Finn and Jake as Batman and Robin. And you notice Lumpy Space Princess as the Joker. And he's even got the evil snail. Well, the snail, it's possessed by the Lich King. I thought that was really cool. It's even got the old Robin Speedos on Jake. So I thought that was really nice. Picked that up. Hey, these the last day, and it was like 3 for $10, I think, is what he was doing, or something like that. And this other one, it's also an Adventure Time, but it's mixed with Doctor Who, so you get the Adventure Time Lord. Their treehouse home is turned into a portal, a nexus with 3 different TARDIS. You see Lumpy Space Princess as a Dalek. There's Jake as a Weeping Angel. Art K9 as BMO or Kamo. Well, there's the snail again. He's just kind of the snail. And I'm picturing the Ice King as Davros, the leader of the Daleks, but I could be wrong. And I'm pretty sure that's supposed to be like Matt Smith, Doctor, so that's Amelia Pond. Anyway, thought it was really cool. Big fan of Doctor Who and Adventure Time, so this is really neat to see. So, I have one more print by that gentleman, but it's in my girls pile, which I'll go through last. The last couple of things here. These are some of my favorite prints that I picked up. This guy's artwork was amazing. He had these large prints, I think for $15, and then they came with 2 smaller prints, or like 5x7s, which is still freaking sweet. This is one of the most wickedest prints I've seen. This character is done so amazing in this. It's fantastic. It really looks evil and horrifying. As you can see, Venom. This was a like 11x17. Just look at the detailed work. I thought that was amazing. Actually had to, I ran out of cash and went and used an ATM, which I normally don't do, just to come back and get the prints from this guy. And he was from here in Georgia also, which was really cool. And like I said, you'd buy a large print. It came with 2 smaller prints, so I picked up a small Carnage, which is the same level of detail, I think. And you know it's Carnage because it doesn't have the tongue. He actually had a large Carnage, which is really, really fucking nice. Excuse me, it was really sweet also. I could only afford one at that time. And the second smaller print that came with it, I thought this was really cool, really unique, and I was leaning towards this one when he said it was one of his favorite prints. I was like, okay, that nails it. This is Juggernaut here. Just look at the eyes and the mouth area, that grimace, I mean, it looks real and natural to me. And then the added detail of the Wolverine claw marks. That is just, it's a badass Juggernaut. And I think that's going to look cool in a 3-part frame with the Venom in the middle and the other 2 out the inside. I think that'll look sweet. And then, I don't want to say it's my favorite thing I picked up from the con, but if I had to pick one favorite, this would have to be it. I don't know if you guys are familiar with artist Greg Watson. He works with Zenescope a little. He has done work on the Wonderland through the Down the Rabbit Hole series, and it was actually a copy of that #1 that I won in Chris's contest, along with the sketch covers. It was signed by this gentleman that he turned on his art, and there's his card there with pertinent information if you want to check him out. And I say please do. This guy was so nice. We talked for, I don't know, the last part of the convention I spent talking to Mr. Watson here, and he was really cool, really nice. He was finishing a sketch, and I was wanting to get a sketch by him. Didn't have a whole lot of time left, like 30 minutes or less left to the convention. And I asked him if he thought he might have time to do a quick sketch, and he was so nice. He's like, you know, he drove up from Georgia. Well, he's not that far away, but he's like, still, you drove all the way up from Georgia. I've enjoyed talking to you and stuff. We were talking about old horror comics and things like that, and he asked me what I might want to have him sketch, and my mind went blank. I did the whole, you know, I'm not really into the superhero stuff. I'm reading more indie stuff now. And he goes, hold on just a second. Since you're more into indie stuff now and you like horror stuff, he's like, you dig the old horror, like EC books, old creepy magazines and things. I was like, yeah, that's the best to me. So he pulls out his portfolio. He's had some sketches that he already done. He pulls this out and just blows me away, and I'm like, yeah, you couldn't have picked a better thing. And I think he actually did this back on Free Comic Book Day, because it's FCBD 2014 on his original signature here. But he had this kick-ass pencil sketch of Frankenstein, and I had been looking at a couple of copies of the the 70s Marvel Frankenstein comic, issue #1. Just, I mean, in 4.0 condition, they were asking $100 for it. I can't see paying that. I'll find it at the flea market for $5, 20% off one day. So, and you know, I don't mind waiting to find it cheaper, but this was really cool. He just pulls that out, and I think he charged me $10 for this. I mean, look at the detail. He does some really great pencil work. And not only was it signed from when he originally did the sketch, he also signed it here in I think it was Sharpie. That was just freaking sweet. So I'm hoping to make it to another con and catch up with him again and get some more stuff from him. It's really, really, really cool. He said he was really nice, and this is definitely one of my favorite pickups from the convention. And this has got to be framed immediately. I'll probably try to go later this evening and go pick up a frame, even if it's a cheap frame, just to put it in and protect it for now. That's awesome. Awesome. So couldn't thank him enough for that. Like I said, he was really, really nice guy, really cool to talk to, and he didn't mind talking with you for a few minutes, shaking hand, everything. So just really personable guy, really good artist. So definitely check out his Facebook or his Twitter or his webpage, things like that. And there are a couple other artists there I didn't get prints from. You'll notice they did a shirt for the convention, and I didn't pick it up, but it had, I believe it was this image on the shirt. It was a blue shirt, so this was all in white line, but it was done by this guy, and he did some really cool art. So if you want to check him out, I was wanting to pick up a couple of prints from him, but I was running really low on money at the time. I really didn't want to go any more over budget. And that's his website. and if you can, you'll notice that you can enter this code, get 10% off. This guy here, his name's Fion Arroyo. He's an illustrator, and it's just a small example of his pieces. He had some really nice stuff. I hate using the word cartoony, but it was a more cartoony, a more like an animated style. But as you can see, I mean, he's really talented. He had some really badass looking dragons, and I mean, they were, even though they were in this more animated, more cartoony style, they were still badass looking. And I wanted to get one. I was just, like I said, I was down to the end of funds. So you can check his stuff out if you'd like. I would appreciate it. He was a really nice guy. I wish I had picked up something from him, but I'll check out his website. Most of these guys will send prints through the mail, and you know, a lot of times you can have them sent to you through the mail, and they you have to pay for shipping, of course, but the price of the prints or the art will sometimes be a little bit cheaper than you can get it at the con. Sometimes a little more, just depends. But his stuff was really cool. And there was another guy there, and he does some kind of abstract art. It reminds me a lot of some older David Mack stuff from like the 90s, early 2000s, stuff on Kabuki. His name was Joe Everson, and he'll do you know, self-portrait in that kind of abstract style. So I recommend checking him out. It was really cool. And see if you can pick up. Yep. Alright. So there was another guy, and I would have picked up something from him, but he didn't have a card reader, and I was out of cash. Didn't want to walk all the way half a mile around this huge convention center to get to the one ATM that I saw. And it's the only ATM I think anybody else knew, because anytime you ask about an ATM, they point you to the same one. It's like, okay, there's only one in this whole area. But I really hated not being able to pick up any stuff from this guy. He was really nice, really cool to talk to. And this little postcard that he had doesn't really do his work justice. Working on a series of prints from the old Scooby-Doo animated series based on the villains. He had an awesome Captain Cutler. If you guys remember, that's from like the first season of Scooby-Doo. It's the old dive suit, the metal like brass dive suit guy that comes up. He's got the seaweed all around him and he carries a spear. He was always kind of like glowing green. And there was a spaceman, I can't remember the name. It's the spaceman, it's like a big suit, it's like a red skull in the dome headpiece. They were really nice, and I wanted both of those. Like I said, I was out of cash, and he didn't have a card reader. I would have spent I think he wanted like $10 for the large 11x17 prints. I'd have spent the $20 out of my account if he'd had a card reader. But I definitely plan to go to his site. His name was Jason Crosby, and there's his information there. And also on Facebook, there's a Facebook page called Jeepers, which is showing off his, I think he said there's like 32 or 33 pieces done in the Scooby-Doo villain set. It's a lot of his work and a couple of other local artists. So that would be really cool. I'm going to check that out and order some prints from him of those in the near future. So that was very cool. Also picked up some flyers for some more local cons area. They got Asheville Comic Expo, Charlotte Comicon, and SC Comicon, which these are smaller cons, and hopefully I might be able to get to go to a couple of these, even if only just for one day. Alright, now lastly, I want to go over a few things that my girlfriend picked up. Some prints. She actually picked up more comic books than I did, but I'm not going to show off all her books. She picked up a bunch of Red Sonjas from the Dynamite series, Volume 1 and Volume 2. She also picked up a couple of issues of Ferris that we'd been looking for a while for her. Issue number 3 and issue number 6, which were hard to find for some reason. I'm sure number 3 it's because of this Adam Hughes cover. But she picked those up, and she picked up some killer prints. First, she got this. She's into mermaid stuff. She picked up this nice mermaid print. It's from a local artist named Jason Gwynn. She has his information, so I can't show that off, but he did a really cool sketch print. It was only $5 for this big print, so she really liked it. And then she was talking to Bud Root, and we were sitting there at his table, and because of the nature of his art, he has little stickies on some of the pieces he had out covering up nudity. And there was a piece that didn't have a sticky on it. Somebody, I think, had moved it around, and she pointed it out to him so that some parent didn't come by and have a little kid see it and get in trouble. So she pointed out to him, and he gave her a free print. I can't show everything, it's got nudity, but it's this woman turning into a mermaid, and he signed it at the bottom for her. It said, from one mermaid to another, thanks for the help. And he signed it, Bud 2014. It's called Miranda of Fur Island. So I'm not sure if she's turning into like a traditional mermaid or she's turning into like a seal type mermaid, but she thought it was cool, and it was really nice of him to give it to her for free. Next, I'll show off the rest of her prints. This is the Doctor Who print that she got from Kelly Yates. 10th Doctor, no, 10th Doctor, yeah. It's Tennant, David Tennant. I think he's her favorite Doctor. He's one of mine. He's definitely, I think, my favorite of the newer series. That was really cool. And there was a piece, when we were talking to James Lyle, there was a piece that he had that she really liked, so I picked that up for her. And this is, it's a character that he created called Fox Ghost. And he had a really nice, the pencil original. I think he only wanted like $45 for it. We were both low on money at the end of the day, so the prints were only, I think, $8. So she opted for that instead, so I picked that up for her. And yep, same gentleman that I got the Venom print, I also picked up this colored Maleficent that he did. She liked it, and these were like $5, so and it was cool. He signed it in like a pink to match the picture for it. I think it's pretty cool. And same gentleman, I got the Adventure Time Doctor Who and the Finn and Jake as Batman print. He said he mixes genres, Doctor Who and Star Wars, and she liked this print, and he did a deal on 3, so I got this for her. There's R2 and C-3PO against a Dalek and a Robot Man, the Cyberman. And I thought it was really cool. So now, I believe that is it. We've come to the end of what I'm sure is going to be an extremely long video. And that is from the SC Comicon. It was held in Greenville, its first year. Great convention. Like I said, I had a blast. The best time I've had in a couple of years at least. Not only did I get to go to the con for 2 days, was able to do a little camping and fishing and stuff before and after the con, which was really fun. I got to meet a great fellow YouTuber, and Chris, thanks again, man. I am a really laid-back kind of person usually, so I don't get all hee-hee excited, but I was really excited, and I am so glad I was able to go. Like I said, first con I've been to in like 10-11 years, and was glad to get back in that scene. Really tired after the weekend, but it was good energy, so had a blast. Thanks again, Chris, and thanks everybody for watching, especially if you hung in for the whole video. I know I had kind of a crappy haul from the con as far book wise, but I really hit up the art vendors, the artists, and got some good prints, and mainly I just enjoyed being there, seeing all the stuff and talking to everybody. They had some good cosplay, some good Iron Man suits, and they had 3. They had regular Iron Man, War Machine, and then like the Ultimates version of Iron Man with that more anime inspired look. It was really cool. They had an awesome Judge Dredd and a Deathstroke walking around. Got some pictures that I'll probably put up in a little montage video and try to do that with a little music in the background. Didn't take as many pictures and video and stuff as I had thought I would. I really got caught up in talking to the different artists and just walking around, and every time I took out my phone to take a picture, I had to delete a lot of photos because I don't know if I kept getting bumped by somebody or if I was just so excited or whatever, but I don't usually shake when I'm taking a picture, and even so, it's got, you know, the anti-shake thing. It's supposed to straighten the picture out, but for some reason I had a lot of blurry photos, which really sucks. But I'll try to put that up soon. Anyway, we'll go ahead and cut this off. Thanks again to everybody. Thanks, Chris, for getting me up to the show and turning me on to that. Thanks to you and your family for letting me and my girlfriend into your house, and you know, going out to eat and just generally just hanging out and being cool, man. I thank so much for the books and everything. Can't say it enough, bro. I really appreciate it. So, hope everybody had a good weekend. I know a lot of people are going to different cons. That's great. There were a lot of cons going on this past weekend, so I'm looking forward to getting caught up on people's videos. I'm a little behind because I was in the woods for a couple of days with no signal at all. So anyway, you guys take care. Have a good week. Hopefully on Wednesday you'll get all the books that you want, and we'll see you guys next time. Take care. Keep reading those books.